This is another structured question. The transfer of electron at a distance. Okay, so in this diagram, you are given two solutions, potassium iodide solution and also acidified potassium manganate 7 solution. Okay, sulfuric acid is just to complete the circuit, so we don't want to look at that. So we look at these two solutions. The first thing we must do is to identify which one is the oxidizing agent. Okay, and for this, I've told you before in class to make sure you memorize all the oxidizing agents. Acidified potassium manganate 7, KMnO4, acidified potassium dichromate 6, K2Cr2O7, chlorine water, bromine water, iron 3 chloride FeCl3, and acidified hydrogen peroxide H2O2. So after we memorize, just memorize oxidizing agent. Do not memorize both oxidizing and reducing agent because you might confuse yourself. So oxidizing agent, after you memorize, you know that this acidified potassium manganate 7 solution is the oxidizing agent. Therefore, it goes through reduction. Okay, so if it goes through reduction, that means it gains electrons. Okay, so let's look at the question now. What's the color of potassium manganate 7 solution? If you use it often enough, you see it often enough, you will know that it is purple in color. Alright, and after the reaction, it turns colorless. Okay, so they didn't ask for the color change, so you just write down the color of the potassium manganate 7 solution. Okay, for x, write the half equation at x. Okay, so at x, so what happens is if electrode y here, okay, gains electron, that means the electron must flow from electrode x. Okay, so at electrode x we have potassium iodide solution. Okay, so something must release the electron. Okay, so it can't be potassium because potassium cannot release electron. Okay, it has to be either iodide ion or in the solution. Okay, because it's an aqueous solution, it has H plus OH negative. Alright, but because this is not electrolysis, yeah, this is transfer of electron, so I negative is the one that will lose electron. Okay, so I negative will become I, and this I cannot be alone. It's a halogen, so you have to write it as I2, iodine. Okay, iodine. So if there are two I's, here you have two iodide ions. So there is two negative on the left side of the arrow. So therefore on the right side of the arrow, you also have two electrons. Okay, so this is the half equation. 2I negative gives you I2, which is iodine, plus 2 electrons. What's the type of reaction? Lose electron, so is oxidation. Okay, describe briefly the chemical test for the product form at X. Okay, so the product is iodine, and I think you learned in bio before that we use iodine to test starch. Okay, for chemistry it's the other way around. We use starch to test iodine. Alright, so 2 marks. So mark number 1 is what you do. Add a few drops of starch solution to the test tube containing or that contains product from X. So what we do is we actually take a dropper, remove some of the product from X and then put it in a test tube lah. And then inside the test tube we add a few drops of starch to the product, okay, that is in the test tube. Second mark is the first mark. The second mark is for your observation. So first mark is for what you do. Second mark is for your observation. So iodine is brown in color, right? So the brown solution, okay, after brown solution, the iodine is brown in color lah. Okay, after you add starch to it, right, brown solution turns dark blue. Okay, this one you learn in bio. After you add starch to iodine, it will turn to dark blue. Okay, so that is the second mark. Next question, they're asking for the half equation, okay, for Y, half equation at Y. So Y we have KMnO4, right? KMnO4, okay, potassium manganate 7 solution, okay, so the K doesn't involve in the reduction, is the manganate ion that takes part in the reduction reaction, and then it becomes manganese ion. Okay, so they have given you the ions, you just have to complete it lah. So this is manganate ion. This H plus shows that it's acidified, and then it gains electron because it goes through reduction. Okay, remember KMnO4 is oxidizing agent, so it goes through reduction, so gain electron, and then it will become manganese ion. So you just need to put the numbers in. So normally I ask my girls to memorize lah, 8 and 5. Okay, 8 and 5, and from here, because of the 8H, so there would be the number here would be 4 lah. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and then you check the charges, negative, 8 plus, and 5 negative. So 8 plus and 6 negative, total will be 2 plus 2, and then on the right side is also plus 2. Okay, so plus 2 equals to plus 2, yeah. So it's correct lah. Okay, so you don't need to write this one, this is just to make sure that the equation is balanced. So that's your 2 marks. Okay, next question. Draw the arrow to show the direction of electron flow, girls. Electron can only flow through the outer circuit. The outer circuit means through the wire. Okay, through the wire. Electron flow through the wire. So you got to draw the electron flow in the wire. Okay, which I've already drawn. From X to Y, and you draw it at the wire. Draw the arrow on the wire itself. Okay, because we know that oxidation happens at X, so oxidation loses electron. Okay, reduction happens at Y, so Y receives the electron.